Hello, let's have a quick look at Lewis' theory of development. W. Arthur Lewis in 1954 formulated a theory of development. The theory is a structural transformation from agriculture sector to the modern industrial sector. The theory is based on certain assumptions. First assumption is that there are two sectors, agriculture sector and industrial sector. The agriculture sector is traditional. A traditional agriculture sector would have surplus labor, it will be labor intensive, there wouldn't be any technology, machinery being used in the sector. And the transformation is to be done to the modern industrial sector which has modern technology, machinery and which is in need of labor. Surplus labor in agriculture sector with marginal productivity of labor being zero. In agriculture sector, there are a lot of labor that is disguised unemployment. The marginal productivity of labor is zero. So if some labor is removed from agriculture sector, it will not affect the productivity of agriculture sector. The production will remain the same. Industrial sector has high productivity. No reinvestment in agriculture sector. In the agriculture sector, no more land is being purchased, nothing new is being done. The profit is not again reinvested to expand the agriculture sector. Supply of labor in industrial sector is perfectly elastic. That means from agriculture sector, there is a perfect supply of labor to the industrial sector. In the perfect supply of labor, that is for transformation of labor from agriculture sector to the industrial sector, there are two bottlenecks. First one is unskilled labor. The labor in agriculture sector is very unskilled. They does manual work. So Lewis has suggested a solution for that, that is the industrial sector can give training to the labor. The second bottleneck is the reluctance to move. People in agriculture sector are too attached to their rural lifestyle. They will not be interested in moving. So in order to make the labor, surplus labor in agriculture sector move to the industrial sector is offering a 30% more wage compared to the agriculture sector. Now let's see how this transformation is done from agriculture sector to the industrial sector. In the diagram, the OX axis shows the quantity of labor. The OY axis shows the wage rate and marginal productivity. As per the theory, the surplus labor due to high salary and better living condition from agriculture sector will move to the industrial sector, till all of the surplus labor in agriculture sector is absorbed by the industrial sector. It is represented in a diagram. So OX axis is the quantity of labor and OY axis shows the wage rate and marginal productivity. This D, D1 and D2 curves are the demand for labor curve as well as the marginal productivity of labor. WSL, this line shows the supply of labor. Now, OW dash is the amount of wages given in the agriculture sector, and OW is the wages given to labor in the industrial sector. So there is a 30% more difference here. As a result of which, the labor from the agriculture rural sector would be attracted to go to the industrial sector. And in the industrial sector, this WDA, this portion is the profit, which is again reinvested. This reinvestment keeps on happening and the industrial sector expands. As the industrial sector expands, the demand for labor also expands till the point where the surplus labor in agriculture sector is fully absorbed by the industrial sector. Now let us see what are the limitations of labor surplus model of Lewis. Firstly, labor saving capital accumulation. The theory assumes that as the industry expands, they would require more labor, but there is a good chance that instead of labor, the industrial sector might prefer to have more capital intensive technique for production. Second is urban wage rate is not constant. The theory assumes that the wage rate remains constant in the industrial sector till the surplus labor is absorbed from the agriculture sector, but the urban wage rate is not constant. Capital flight. The theory assumes that the industrial sector will reinvest in the domestic economy, but there is a good chance that it doesn't invest in the domestic economy. Fourth, unskilled labor is not a temporary bottleneck. Arthur Lewis has suggested that unskilled labor from agricultural sector can be a problem which is solved by training the unskilled labor and making them skilled. But it is not an easy process and it is time consuming and require a lot of cost. The marginal productivity of labor is not zero. The theory assumes that the marginal productivity of labor in agriculture sector is zero. So if some labor is removed from the agriculture sector, but it will not affect the production. But that is not true. So this is the Lewis theory of development. It's also known as Lewis surplus model. I hope you understood and thank you for listening.